It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever at the Butterfly Palace. Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Well, good morning. It is Diana, yours truly, here with us today with my guest co-host. We've got Scott Ellis. I'm so excited to have you join me. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And you're with St. Jude, right?
Absolutely. And I cover the Springfield Ozarks area.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm thrilled to have you on the show today, filling in for Ethan and Sarah. Sarah is traveling and Ethan is expected to be back tomorrow. So let's start with some news. A fire broke out at Ozark Hardwood Pellets, a pellet manufacturing plant that produces the bulk of our heating and grilling pellet fuels, located in Seymour, Missouri, on Tuesday evening. Over a dozen fire departments responded to the fire and 2 buildings caught fire, one now controlled, but the second building is reported to burn for days. The Southern Webster County Fire Protection District reports that they and the city of Seymour Fire will remain on standby until further notice. The Webster County Fire Protection District asks the public, please avoid the area. Don't go gawking at this.
Yeah.
Luckily, no one was injured in the buildings, or no one was in the buildings at the time, and there's no injuries. So, close call,
Good news.
Yeah. And other news, the city of Springfield has completed its 2-phase implementation of OpenGov. It's a new cloud-based budgeting and transparency portal and purpose-built to power more effective and accountable government. OpenGov, it displays all kinds of data, including financial dashboards, reports, Springfield Police Department figures, audits, and explanatory videos that are all accessible to the public on the city of Springfield's website. So if you want to go check it out, check out springfieldmo.gov/open data. So how about that for transparency? Cool.
Yeah, I like that because we can see where the money in Springfield's going, what kind of projects they're working on. You know, we always wonder where our tax money is going. So it's nice to be able to kind of get some transparency for Springfield and the Ozarks region.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty interesting. I was looking it up on my phone and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So year over year data for the funds in the budget. Like you can actually see, you can't probably see it on my phone, but it's pretty cool to be able to get in and see all of the data there. So cool.
It is pretty neat. This is also really cool. I remember hearing about this website a few years back. It's called All Things Diverse SGF. It's a website that's a one-stop shop for all things diverse in the greater Springfield, Missouri area. Now they have an app. All Things Diverse SGF's mission is to build and grow the community of Springfield by connecting them to businesses, professionals, resources, and organizations from diverse backgrounds. By working together and sharing resources, they feel like they can assist the greater Springfield in growing economically and culturally. All Things Diverse SGF's app showcases a rich diversity in Springfield, Missouri by featuring ethnic businesses, resources in Springfield like barbershops, beauty shops, different ethnic restaurants. This app even has the ability to help college students with recruitment, networking, and retention of diversity in the greater Springfield area through All Things Diverse SGF's partnership with Missouri State and Drury University, which I think is much needed here in the Ozarks.
Wow. I think that's awesome because I know I try to be intentional about shopping local, supporting local, and even those more diverse locally owned businesses. Like they worked hard to get to where they're at. And so I think it's good to be able to support them. That's neat.
Yeah, we absolutely need to support them. This is also cool. The Missouri Job Center's Hit It Out of the Park hiring event is today. It's Tuesday, February 8th at the Springfield Cardinals training facility. Now, according to the Missouri Job Center, this is the largest hiring event that they've ever hosted with 65 employers participating. Now, this job fair is made possible through Missouri Job Center's partnership with Springfield Cardinals. So if you want to know more, you can head to Missouri Job Center Ozark Region's Facebook page, and you can see the full list of participating employers.
Very cool. A good opportunity. Well, are you ready? Okay. I had to do like my cheerleading move. The Ozark High School Cheerleading team is heading to Orlando, Florida for the National High School Cheerleading competition. I am so excited for them. It says the UCA National High School Cheerleading Championship takes place this weekend at the ESPN Wide World of Sports in Orlando, Florida. Ozark High School, way to go. I never was a cheerleader, but I really feel like I missed my calling in life because I'm such an encourager and I'm pretty enthusiastic, but we moved around too much for me to ever get plugged in too long at something. But have you ever done anything like this, Scott?
I mean, we got really lucky in high school and we got invited to the MFA Oil Championship for basketball. And I got to play with a bunch of future NBA players, but they're all retired now, if that shows you my age. So, but it was very cool in the early 2000s to get to go do that. So,
oh, so neat. Well, cool.
The Dickerson Park Zoo, they want to get you game day ready before the big game coming up on Sunday. So come to the zoo this Saturday, February 10th, in full Chiefs spirit, decked out in your best Kansas City Chiefs gear. Or if you're a Swiftie, you can do your best Taylor Swift attire and you'll receive half off general admission. And that even goes towards the Friends of the Zoo membership. So what's your favorite animal to go see at the zoo, Diana?
Oh, man. I love spotted creatures, the cheetahs and the giraffes. I'm super tall, so I love giraffes anyways, but and the capybara, like they have the world's largest rodent that they are just the cutest little things. So they're like, I can't even describe really what they are, but they are just so cute. They got big buck teeth and they're pretty fun to watch at the zoo as well. So they're where the hippo exhibit used to be. So
I'm jealous.
How about
you took the giraffe right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. I love giraffes. I find them to be so, odd, but also comforting to see them just kind of walking around, kind of grazing. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Majestically, galloping across the yards.
All right, so we all know the big game. Super Bowl 58 is only a few days away, coming up on Sunday. And if you watched Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer this morning, you may already have learned this. But during Abby's Brain Twister trivia question, she asked, how much was the average ticket price for the very first Super Bowl? Now, the very first Super Bowl, of course, was in 1967. The Green Bay Packers took on our Kansas City Chiefs. So think about your answers real quick. The average ticket price, $12. $12 to get into the Super Bowl for Super Bowl I.
That's crazy. What a steal of a deal.
I don't think
Inflation
you could buy a hot
is a
dog.
real thing.
You couldn't buy a hot dog at this year's Super Bowl. Now, if you compare that to the average price for the Super Bowl ticket in 2020, it was $6,370.
Oh.
I didn't spend that much on my first car.
Right?
This year's prices are a little just as crazy. The average price is from $5,000 to more than $30,000 to get into the Super Bowl this year to see the 49ers take on the Chiefs.
Wow. And I'm guessing those $5,000 seats are like way nosebleed, like you need binoculars to be able to see.
And there might be like a beam in front of you blocking your view.
Yeah. That doesn't even include hotel, food, airfare, gasoline if you're driving. That's a commitment for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got the big game coming up, but what else is coming up? It's a very important holiday, gentlemen. If you have a lady in your life, romantic lady, Valentine's Day. It is less than 1 week away. And I know sometimes holidays and special events can sneak up on us. So here's your reminder. Get your special person something. And according
Brian, you're listening?
Right. Yeah. Mark it, set an alarm, all the things. So according to the National Retail Federation, the top Valentine's Day gift coming in at number 1, candy. Yeah. I bet most of it is chocolate, right? Number 2 is cards. So get a card to go with the candy.
Don't forget that.
Number 3, flowers. Roses, I'm sure, are a great idea. And number 4, a dinner date. And number 5, jewelry. So get
just the mainstays,
Of
just
course.
The main things. If you do those 5 things, I feel like no matter if you're in the doghouse or whatnot, that will help get you out, right?
Right. So obviously all are very common gifts. But you guys, it's nice to go out of the box. Ladies like to be surprised, and we encourage you to be creative and thoughtful and have fun thinking of gifts for your Valentine. And don't forget the other people in your life, like our kids. I love to try to get our kids a Valentine's box and all of that. So do you have a favorite Valentine's gift that you've received or that you've given, Scott?
I think given would probably be, I shouldn't say it's the most creative. Instagram got me, okay? It was one of those picture boxes. Now, it looks like a little present that you take the lid off of, but when you open it up, it springs apart with photos of us as a couple were inside, but it also had these spring-hinged butterflies that shot out and surprised her and then flew up in the sky. And I got a video of it as she opened it up, and it was just pure shock as she opens up this present. Then it kind of it was like a blooming onion, but there was all pictures. So.
Oh my goodness, you're such a good guy. That sounds great.
Thanks, Instagram. I appreciate it.
If my husband's listening, that would be really fun. I've never had anything like that. I don't know if I can. I mean, we always try to do a little dinner out. We don't like competing with Valentine's Day just because it's crazy. Plus, Brian he popped the question on February 13th. So we've kind of always celebrated on the 13th instead of the 14th. So
you guys have your very own Taylor Swift Day, 13th.
We do. Yeah, exactly. And then we, don't forget President's Day is coming up, which we do celebrate President's Day. So don't forget all the holidays coming up. We've got the big game, the Super Bowl. We've got Valentine's Day less than a week away. And then we got President's Day coming up soon. So here we go.
Need a day off.
Right. All the holidays. But that's all we got for today. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much, Scott, for filling in. Any plugs you want to give for St. Jude, or tell us a little bit about St. Jude?
Yeah, just real quick. We have our Dream Home campaign coming up. That's going to be tickets go on sale April 11th. So $100 ticket could get you a chance of winning an awesome dream home. Thanks to Wes Aller and Aller Building Company. They're building us an amazing home right here in Springfield for the 20th anniversary of our campaign, 20 years here in Springfield. And it's all thanks to people like you who have made it possible. So thank you. Dreamhome.org to get your ticket coming up April 11th.
Oh, so cool. And it goes to such a great cause for everything that you guys do. I've had friends that have benefited from St. Jude. So such a great organization. So thanks for joining me today. Yeah. And we wish you guys around the Ozarks a great rest of your day. Bye.
Yeah.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. It is going to be a warm one in the Ozarks, that is for sure. Temperatures this morning, mid and upper 40s. It's warm out to start, and it's also windy already, and we've only got about an hour left where we're not under a wind advisory. Wind advisory starting at 6 a.m. this morning. It lasts until 6 p.m. And you're going to notice the wind today, whether you're inside or outside. If you're inside, you're going to hear it kind of hitting the side of the house. If you're outside, you're going to be dealing with it. So just be aware, unsecured items may be laying all over the place today. It's one of those afternoons where we could see winds gust to 45 miles an hour, which could have an impact. So big heads up there. Wind advisory goes into effect, as I mentioned, at 6 o'clock this morning. And it's not for everybody in the Ozarks, but the only ones excluded here are in our southeastern counties. And I think everybody sees the breezy conditions. So whether you hit a wind gust of 35 miles an hour or 45, the point here is that it's going to be windy everywhere. And some of the impacts will be felt all across the Ozarks. There's also this tiny little chance that we could see a few sprinkles today. I really don't think the rain chance looks great in the Ozarks, but don't be surprised if you see a few showers, especially early on. I think the sun comes out, though, as we head through the course of the afternoon. It will be sunny, but really windy across the region. Also really warm, these southerly winds bringing in incredibly warm conditions. I mentioned the potential for loose objects to be blowing around. Travel may also become difficult today. So if you're traveling on an interstate going at a higher speed, watch those high profile vehicles. They may have trouble in some of these winds, again, gusting to 45 miles an hour. A west-southwest wind is then in the forecast on Friday too. And while it calms down a bit for us for the end of the week, It's also going to be a really windy day on Friday. So we are going to be warm and windy to end the week. This also leads to the potential for significant grass fire danger. We have really low relative humidity. I know you can kind of feel it in the air or your hair or your skin. It feels really dry. Relative humidity is really low. That, combined with the windy conditions and the fact that we haven't had rain this work week, will mean that we have these significant fire danger conditions setting up across the Ozarks with humidity only about 35 to 55%. Fire danger conditions, I think they're going to be pretty widespread. We are talking about the best potential likely being along the I-44 corridor, but everywhere in the Ozarks has the potential for grass fire danger today. So no open burning. It is not a good choice. And watch where you put any of those things that could spark a fire. Warm in the forecast today, though. I have a high temperature of about 68 degrees. I mean, it's going to make you want to get outside, and then the wind will drive you right back indoors. We have warm weather in the forecast also on Friday. And as I mentioned, it's less windy tomorrow, so you may actually want to head outdoors on Friday opposed to today. By the weekend, I'm talking about a cooler pattern. High temperatures fall into the 50s on Saturday, and we could be in the 40s for highs by Sunday. Speaking of Super Bowl Sunday, it's been looking cooler overall with high temperatures in the 40s by Sunday. There also appears to be this rain mixed with snowfall chance that's going to arrive Sunday evening. Those of you watching the Super Bowl parties are going to want to pay close attention to that forecast for Sunday. At this point, it looks like the rain to snow issue would happen in our northern counties, north of Highway 60 into central Missouri, but I'm keeping a close eye on that. So make sure you check back before the weekend. High temperature today, 68 degrees, sunny, windy. Overnight tonight, we're clear. Low temps, way above freezing again. Low temperatures falling back to about 45 degrees. On Friday, I have temperatures back into the upper 60s. Again, mostly sunny and breezy. And then by Saturday, we see our high temperatures fall. We'll be in the mid 50s on Saturday, so not bad, but cooler than what we've become accustomed to this week. Around the country, what's making headlines today? Well, there's still some moisture off on the West Coast, and portions of the Southwest are still seeing some heavy downpours. A wintry mix now showing up in the northern plains too, while we are still in this nice little warm bubble here in the middle part of the United States. Temperatures way above average for the central U.S. That's going to continue through Friday for a large portion of the country. Flooding concerns are happening also in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So if you know anybody there, if you're heading on vacation, a cruise, anything like that, just know that there's some unsettled weather bringing some heavy rains to those parts of the world. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question today, sponsored by Scooter's Coffee. Here's the question that I left you with for you Disney fans. What is Donald Duck's middle name? Did you know Donald Duck had a middle name? The options that I gave you were A, Drake, B, Featherton, C, Fauntleroy, or D, Elias. It's not all an alliteration. It is C, Fauntleroy. Donald Fauntleroy Duck. Did you know? I guess you do now. Why is Donald Duck's middle name Fauntleroy? Well, Disney has not entered an official statement on this, but it has been suggested that the name has its origins from the 1886 book Little Lord Fauntleroy by Frances Hodgson Burnett. A Fauntleroy garment is often consisting of a sailor suit and a hat. You know how Donald Duck dresses. And also in that book, Little Lord Fauntleroy himself, he was kind of well known as being a spoiled brat, for lack of a better term. And if you have watched any at Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which I have watched recently because of my children, they love Donald Duck, by the way, favorite character. He might exhibit a little bit of those characteristics sometimes. You know, Donald always wants to know why he can't have what he wants right away when he wants it. Now you know, Donald Fauntleroy Duck. Here's your next chance to win $20 to Scooter's Coffee. And it's a really good chance, true or false, today. 50-50 shot. So head on over to the website and submit your guess there. This has to do with some research. Yale research shows that men smile more than women. Do you think that is true or false? Let me know your guess. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. I will have the answer for you early tomorrow morning. In the meantime, enjoy your day today. It's going to be warm, but super windy. Wind advisory 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the northwestern Ozarks. Hold on to your hats if you're heading out the door. I'll be back with another weather check tomorrow morning.